Today I'm going to be showing you guys probably one of the coolest sounds you can make as a drummer. You guys, I'm sure, have all heard of it, and I'm sure you all know what it's supposed to sound like, but you guys might not know how it's produced. It's called the drum roll. Now, a lot of people would say this is too challenging of a thing to be teaching this early, but I'd argue that it's something that takes so long to learn that the earlier you get started on it, the better off you'll be. Because it wasn't until pretty recently that I got actually good at drum rolls. So like I said, I'll give you guys, here's what it sounds like. It's just sort of like a continuous buzzing, and you might think, wow, how is he moving his hands that fast? But really, all I'm doing is instead of just hitting the drum really fast, instead of hitting it really fast, single strokes, you're letting your stick bounce. And then once you throw in the other hand, so that's that. Now there's two different styles of drum rolls. You'll hear both. What I was just doing there was a closed roll, and the other kind would be an open roll. I'll give you guys an example of both, and I'll explain to you the difference after you hear it. Here's a closed roll. Here's an open roll. Now a closed roll is just sort of like you're letting your sticks bounce as like they're just sort of dropping on the drum. They bounce like a bunch of times, they just sort of buzz. Where an open roll is you're just strictly each stick hits the drum twice. That's an open roll. That's a closed roll. You can hear the difference. I'm not sure if it picks up very well on the microphone on my camera here, but hopefully you guys can get the idea. So, ways to go about learning the drum roll. Now, this could get frustrating for you. It was very frustrating for me. It wasn't until a year or two ago that I was really starting to actually put together a good roll. But the best way to start practicing is just start working on bouncing your sticks. It's going to be a lot easier. Another thing is going to be a lot easier with your right hand. Just like pretty much everything in drumming, your right hand is always going to be your strong hand. Unless, of course, you're lefty. I always forget to add that, but in all probability, you're right-handed. So just start with your right hand, and start just bouncing it on the drum, just 2 strokes. Now it'll get frustrating, you'll just get 1 hit, so you'll get a bunch of hits. This might sound like that, but stick with it. Work on getting a tight bounce. You sort of want to use your wrist again to just sort of let the stick rebound off and hit the drum, just let it bounce. Do sort of a quick flick of your wrist to make it bounce. And eventually it'll just be so second nature that you don't even have to think about it. But again, another thing, like from the last video, stick control. You don't want your stick way up here when you're doing a roll. Keep it close to the drum. I'd say about 1 inch off. Yeah, and then once you get, obviously, working your left hand. And start to put it together, and then you'll have a roll. That'd be your open roll. And then once you get, closed roll might be easier for you to start, sort of, kind of depends on the person. I was better at my open rolls first. Open roll, you just do more pressing down on the drum with your stick. You don't pick it back up like in the 2-stroke. You sort of let it press so it bounces more. So yeah, once you get that going, then there's different lengths of rolls. Like they'll call it the shortest one is just it's like a quick 3-stroke roll. So it's just like 2 strokes with 1 hand, and then 1 with the other one. So that's a 3-stroke. Then there's 5-stroke. And then also you might want to work on that with your left hand leading. 7-stroke would be, ooh, that was bad. So yeah, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 1. 9-stroke would be So that'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then it goes up to 11, 13, 15, 17. And then there's just ones where you just roll until the conductor cuts off. There's all sorts of different kinds, but anyways, once you get your bouncing down, you should be able to do any of them. So yeah, so to recap, it can be a very frustrating thing to learn. That's why I'm getting you guys into it so early, is just to give you guys ample time to get good at it before you actually need to use it. It's frustrating, but it sounds cool and it's a good payoff. Drop my stick. Ways to work on that. Remember technique. Keep the sticks low to the drum. Wrist flicks to keep it a nice controlled, even sound. The other thing. Open rolls versus closed rolls. Open. Closed. I'm thinking that's about it, other than the length of the rolls, but that's not too important just yet. So, hang in there with these rolls, guys. They're kind of tough, but just keep practicing them, and eventually they'll start to sound good. See you guys later.